I got a tarp. That's my new setup. Shit. Check it out. I'm not sure if you can see it. Well, I'll reverse the camera. What do you know? Shit, it's fucked up, right? That's not me, right? I know, this shit's so weird. How do you go back? I don't know. Okay, geez, there's a lot to talk about. It's been a while. The last post I had saying was, somebody stole my phone. Saying what happened, saying they took my phone, saying I was at the laundromat, and saying, I went to go get something to drink, and saying what happened, I come back, my phone's gone. I was like, I sat outside for a while, and I was seeing who was coming in and out, and saying, I know who stole my phone. I'm like, okay, that's fucked, you know, and then I don't know if that was her, but that's who I think it was. Now, whether or not she did it, I don't know. But it's been a while since we had a post saying, I see you guys. Now, I went down to NASA, and saying it was a couple weeks ago. It was like 2 weeks. It was like 235 miles. From Ocala to Titusville. I walked, it took 2 weeks. I went down there and they were like, you can't go in, saying it's top secret. I was like, what I'm working on is top secret. You don't respect that? Saying they don't hire you? It's like, it makes no sense. I was like, okay, well, what are you doing now? Saying I'm working on big shit, and they're saying, you know, all they gotta do is keep top secret. All they do is working on jet fuel and singing nothing else. Like, what do they keep in secret? It's fucking jet fuel and, what else? What else do they keep in secret? Nothing! Alright. Now, I came up with a new idea. We'll have to come back to it. Saying, I gotta go back to the camp and saying, I gotta show you guys what we've been working on. Oh, you guys want to know the secret to the ozone? What did we say it was? I'm fucking retired now. Great. It was, I think, oxygen, hydrogen, and carbon, I think. I think we're missing something, but the thing, I think that the fourth element that we've been missing the whole time, I think it's, salt. But that's how we're gonna do it. We're saying make a big boiling pot and saying put a bunch of salt water in it. It's gonna fix the ozone. That's the idea. We'll see what happens, but I got my phone back. I went through hell trying to get it. My stepmother made me get this ridiculous haircut. She's like, okay, we'll get the haircut, you get a phone. I'm like, bullshit. I was like, that's what she said. She's like, you can get a haircut, you can get the phone. And then later I get the haircut, and then she was like, the day before, saying we went down, okay, well, you gotta get a shot. And it's called Invega. And they think it's gonna do something, but it doesn't do anything. Now, she was like, we went down to the doctors, and they were like, okay, well, this is what we're going to give you. That's not what I want, not what I need. And we fixed small cell lung cancer, and they hooked me up on the Vega. It doesn't do shit. Anyway, sorry for the language. What happened, I was like, we went down saying the shot was $600. But we went down, and then I was like, I'm not taking a shot, I'm not taking it. Saying all I need is something for sleep. I come back, and then I get my haircut that same day. Saying, she's like, okay, you gotta get a haircut. The haircut was like $8, $7. It was alright, it was a good, okay job. But what happened, I got my haircut, and then, I was supposed to get the phone after. Then we're coming into the parking lot, and then she was like, okay, if you want to get a phone, you gotta get the shot too. I was like, that wasn't part of the deal, saying, you asked me to get my haircut and you get a phone. Unfortunately, unfortunately, we went through hell trying to get it done. Fortunately, I just got my phone today. The haircut happened like 3 weeks ago. I was like, this is some shit. But I got a phone back. And then we came up with some good names. We got Albano Birch, Bruce Spruce, Fern, Evan Lennon, Pat Pistachio, M. Moss, Eminem. He can be Moss. Eminem Moss. I'm Two Prune. There's a couple good ones. But the trick is to find, we got Mistletoe James. That was pretty good. You gotta meet him. He's a character. Good guy too. Not bad as you wouldn't believe. Anyway, look where we're at. This is the path. I don't know where we're going. Anyway, what are we doing? Well, we came up with an idea of fixing the ozone. Now, we gotta do something else. We're gonna go back over the discussion. This is what I worked on today. Well, if we want to stop making cyborgs, we gotta figure out a way. Okay, how are we gonna power it? Okay, well, the question is, how do we power it? Well, you gotta think of how the body works. Okay, start from basics. Okay, you get the stomach. And stomach acid, that's what breaks down the food. We came up with vinegar, cranberry, and orange juice. And you add baking soda, it might break down food. But the trick is try to find a lining, a stomach lining, that absorbs the food, that transfers the energy back to your brain. Now, I'm not sure how. You gotta think, okay, the passage of time. What is the passage of time? This is between A to B, and the pressure was gone. Alright, that's how we make a stomach liner. You gotta think about this. Okay, if you take algae and you put it in the incubator, now that would speed up time because you get heat to it. It makes the molecules go everywhere. Chaotic. That might work. Okay, so stomach lining. We get the stomach lining. Fortunately, I'm not sure how big how it's gonna get. If it'll even work. Trick is to figure out how it's made. You gotta start from basics. Okay, what do we know about? Single cell and multi-cell organisms. Okay, so a plant cell is almost the same as an animal cell, which makes you wonder. I'm losing my breath. Alright, it makes you wonder, how did it start? Okay, did we start as an animal cell or plant cell? Well, question, they're both the same anyway. Now, a question. You know how you leave stagnant water for a while, and then you wait for life to form? Saying what happens is that, I'm not sure what happens. Mold hits it, and this thing, air gets to it. And then, you gotta figure, that creates life. Now, whether that life that's created from the stagnant water is a plant cell or an animal cell, technically we think it's an animal cell because it moves and it creates an animal. But that's not how it was created. It's created out of water. So what is it? Anyway, you gotta figure out, okay, single cell, multi-cell. I'm not sure what a single cell is. I know what a multi-cell is. Saying it's an animal, but that doesn't mean plant cells can be, multi-cell either. Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, the trick is to figure out how it works, and then you put that to everyday life. Sorry. You gotta figure, okay, put that to everyday life. Okay, so that's the trick of figuring out how something works. Is you gotta figure out step one. Okay, what is it? Well, what is it? Is it living? Yes. Okay, so it gets even deeper. Saying, is that cell living? Or is it a plant? Now, who's to say that a plant isn't living? Who's to say that grass isn't alive? They got, what's that? Venus flytrap. That's a living plant. That's different. Venus flytrap, okay. Is that living or not? Okay. Good question. Alright. Now, this plant, I'm not sure is living or not. What do you guys think? Living? Well, how is it multi-cell? It's got what is it? If you looked at a plant or something, looked under it with a microscope, seeing it's got like veins and stuff in it, like veins and everything, and seeing what it is, seeing it's got cells to it. It's like the same thing as the veins in our body. Like if you look at it at a microscope, it's the same thing. So I think it is living. Good question. Living or not? Is that a plant? Is it living? I think it is. Because it's living, but it's not. So what is it? Well, it's a multi-cell because what's the difference between a multi-cell and a single cell? If a single cell, saying nothing will grow, saying it would be nothing. Single cell is nothing. Multi-cell is living. I'm not sure what the difference is. A single cell wouldn't evolve, you think, because it has nothing to it. It's saying it wouldn't grow any more than just a single cell. The reason why it's a multi-cell. Now, question is a multi-cell, are we a multi-cell? Is that we cell as one, then we grow big? Or is a multi-cell like, say, a skin sample that you seen, or blood, Is blood a multi-cell or a single cell? Or are we all single cells, and we don't have multi-cells, saying we just grow old? But we say is a single cell. Now, if you look at the cell, it's got a whole bunch of different things to it. What is it got? If you guys look it up, it's got a nuclei. It's got a bunch of stuff. I can't think of it right now, but there's something else. Oh, we're back at camp. Look at that. That's beautiful, huh? Look, I made a whip-off. I came up with an idea. I wanted to build a bike park out back, but I like BMX. I know. Oh, we came up with that. Oh, you guys have changed the subject. We came up with an idea with a bike motor. Now, you guys are going to laugh. Hold on. We're grabbing the playbook here. You guys are stupid. Not you. You're fine. But anyway. Oh, look at that. That's the underwater breather. That's the underground field mining idea. I was going to measure my, I still don't know if it'll work. That's my world's smallest renewable resource. It says with AA battery. And then try coming up with blueprints, but what happened was that I think I drawed it too big. So I tried to draw it small, but it didn't work. Now, this is what I'm thinking for a bike motor. Now, I'm not sure if it's going to work. Alright, what else? That's what we're going to eat. It's pretty cool. It's going to be pretty cool. If I ever get it done, saying I'm trying to get a loan from the bank, saying I've been going about it for like 3 days now. Saying I was like, okay, well, I had to go get a loan. Saying this is 2 days ago. I was like, okay, well, I went to go see her. Her name's Chelsea or something. Cheerlies or something. I went down there and she was like, okay, well, I'll call your dad and I tried to get a loan by myself. But I was like, okay, well, I don't have an ID or a place of living. I got to put me down my dad. I was like, okay, well, can we give him a call? So we gave him a call and she was like, okay, well, I got to talk to my son. I was like, okay, so we hung up the phone. That was 3 days ago. And then yesterday, I come down saying, same thing. I was walking down, I was like, okay, well, I gotta talk to Chelsea again. I was like, I call her Princess Farquaad. But got Princess Farquaad and King Farquaad. I went down there, I was like, okay, well, I had to get a loan. I was like, I come down to get a loan, and saying, what, I gotta get, yesterday I was hungry, so I was like, okay, I had to get food. I had no money for food, I had to steal. So I went down, saying, good to go get food at Publix. And on my way, saying I stopped at Rose's to give my dad a call. He was like, oh, okay. I don't know what he said, but I don't remember. But I'm trying to get him to, so I can cuss on for a loan. You put down his address and his license. I don't have anything. Okay, so I went down there, gave him a call to Rose's. Like, I went out to Publix, got some food. I came back saying, like, should I call my dad? He didn't answer. And I went back to Regions. That's the name of the bank. I went back to Regions, and they're like, okay, well, your dad didn't call. I was like, this is bullshit. So I come back, and then I come back to camp. I was like, okay, we gotta do something. So Oh, I came up with this. Check this out. Look at that. Look at that. This is what I did yesterday. I was bored out of my mind. That's my tree. I'm not done with that yet. I'm not done with this either. Then there's, I think, my spaceship. Oh, there it is. Huh. This is boredom. I think I would have had a sleep already, but saying, sure, see it when I was down there. Seeing when I was on my way to NASA. I was like, I drew up everything that, that meant something to me, that, And it was like, I couldn't do anything. I washed out because I was sweating all day. I was like, it fucking would have been badass. I was down in New Jersey. I was like, okay, well, I got like $20. I'm going to ask the studio. Excuse me. I was going to go ask the studio. I was like, okay, well, I want to get stitches. I had $20. So I was like, get down there. And they're all like, I was like, okay, what are you charging now? What's shop minimum? They're like $80. I was like, okay, well, all I want to do is get stitches. And then they were like, okay, well, it's $80 an hour. Shop minimum is $80, and then I forget what it was per hour. And then I was like, are you sure? Are you sure? It's just a little bit of anything. We don't need much thing. All it's going to take you like 10 minutes to do. They're like, nope, $80. I was like, that's some bullshit. They didn't know me, I don't know them for a whole while, but I mean, I want to eventually get it going, but seeing what happened was I have no money, so I can't do anything. But, let's see, what else are we doing? I don't know, okay, God, okay. Now, we came up with the stomach lining. Now, the other thing with the cyborgs is that we came up with the stomach lining. The only thing that we came up with after was like, okay, how do we create a cyborg? Or a clone? And what it is saying, you have to figure out, how do you make sperm? The egg. That's all it's saying. But what happens, it's the only way I can think of, is that you take a sperm from a male, and then you insert it in a female. And you get a clone. But that's the only thing I can think of. And then we came up with, later on, I was like, so we still got to figure out that, how do we make sperm? A person can't do it in this sense, you got to make it. Okay, anyway, that brings us into another question. Okay, so how do we make sperm? Well, the only thing I can think of is how do you make it? Well, same thing as time, same analogy. You take a sperm, or swimmy, a tadpole from the water, and you insert it in the male, in the female. Yeah, you insert it in the male. Yeah, okay. You insert it in the female, and so you have like a frog swamp person, or a centaur, or saying you get it like half animal, half person. I wonder if it's ever been done. And you come out with a half animal, half person. I'm not sure. Anyway, that brings us to another fact that I thought of today. I was like, okay, God. Okay, who is God? Well, now they say Jesus was God in human form, saying he had to die for us. Okay, well, people think we're all gods, but that's not this case at all. Saying what it is, saying, okay, you get gods, but who is the God? God is somebody else. Saying we're all God. This is different. We're dealing with the temple and the Holy Spirit and God. Now, technically, they're right. We're all God because we're made for a reason, for God's purpose, because He saw it was good. Now, that brings us to another fact. Jesus was the example, the chosen. I think God's mom was a man and a woman. That's how they had Jesus. And his dad hated her because of that, because he knew she was half male. And that's why Joseph wasn't around. And Mary never cheated on Joseph because she was pissed off at it all the time. Because she was like, I want to get laid. But it's like, no, I'm not doing that. Sorry. You don't need it. So, but who is God? I don't know, that brings us into another fact. Okay, callings. Okay, a man is risen in his works. But you also gotta figure, I know, can you stop? I know. You gotta figure, okay, well, gifts, and how was the Bible written? The Bible, never mind. The Bible was written by prophets. Not prophets, but people that were gifted in the ways of the higher power. They heard something, they wrote down a common rule of facts, of fact and knowledge of what happened today, or happening at the time. Now, it's crazy because the books of the Bible saying you couldn't just normally think of that. It's really God speaking through a person, being like, okay, well, this is what it is. They were like, okay, well, we read the Bible from God's Word. This is God speaking right now. Now listen. Now, people are given gifts because of what they went through in life, because of who they are, because of who God made them to be. Question. Who did God make you to be? Anyway, I gotta go. Bye.